Hi, Peter Westman here, checking in for week 2. Discussion board post. This week I'm changing it up a little bit. Last week I explained I like to talk first and then write later. This week I wrote first and now I'm talking later. So I'm still going to try to make this more like expressionist form, but hopefully my writing will be a little bit more thought out and less sound like I'm just kind of saying stuff out loud. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Give me your feedback. Let me know. But this week we're talking about theological thought and relating it back to Guinness's book, or Guinness's introduction to his book, about how truthfulness is established in a postmodern society. And I think my thoughts on it are this, is that technology heavily influences the way that thoughtfulness and truthfulness is established. So in a sense, when you look at our society today, knowledge and truthfulness is taken for granted because of how accessible knowledge is. So years ago, the main way that you acquired knowledge is you read something, and you established whether or not it was true because it was written by a credible source. But now, since knowledge is so easy to get, it's on your computer, it's on the TV, it's on your phone, it's on your watch. That whether or not it's true, we can't sit there and process the reliability of each source. So we kind of have to come up with other methods of filtering out truth from not truth. And so the way that we do that in today's society without even realizing it is you kind of just, it's like you're in a room with really loud noises going on, and you can't filter out everything. So you kind of just go with whatever sounds the loudest. And in that sense, look at what's going on with, let's say, the clown fear phenomena, right? People are literally scared to go outside. Children are allowed to dress up as clowns for Halloween because people are living in fear of being attacked by a clown. But when you really think about it, what is the probability that I or you would actually be attacked by a clown? Very, very, very unlikely. Very, very, very unlikely, and yet somehow we're afraid. And why? Because we're being made aware of it. Because we're being told that it's happening. Because it's right in front of us all the time. And so people are then assuming that, oh, this is going to happen to me. And it's just coming at you from all angles, and it's repeated and it's loud, and so you just know about it and you believe it, and it's just true. But how often is it actually happening? And so, like, how do we decipher truth? Look at the elections, and look at Trump and Hillary. Truth is relative. They're both saying the other person is not trustworthy because they don't speak the truth. But what are they doing to try to prove truth? Well, they're just being louder and more repetitive than the other person. That's why Donald Trump is where he is because he understands the way that people acquire truth. He knows that you have to engage through all the avenues and hit them from every direction in order for them to believe something that's true. If it's repeated enough and loud enough, then people will accept it as truth. They don't want to have to think critically about anything. They just want to absorb truth. So let's bring it back. How are we going to relate this to theological thought? Well, our congregations today are the same way. They don't want to have to process any sort of theological thought for themselves. They want to be spoon-fed it. We hear a lot about people wanting to go to church to be fed. They don't want to be fed. They want to be spoon-fed. They want someone to digest it for them and then give it to them in a manageable way. And so you go to church on Sunday for a quick and easy, and then you're done, and that's it. And that's the problem, is that pastors wanting to appease that are giving them something that is from their own truth, one of their many truths, right? And not God's truth. And that's the task for a theologian, especially a theological preacher, is you need to be making sure that you're presenting God's truth to the congregation, something that's filled with the Spirit, not just some quick flash in the pan emotion that's going to get certain people excited because it's exactly what they want to hear, and then they go home happy. We need to be preaching God's truth. We need to understand what God's truth is, and to do that, we need to think theologically. We need to engage in God's word in a theological and critical way. So I think I hit most of my points here, but I get excited about this because it is something that you just see. I walk around in my church and I see it. We're going through a church change right now, and I see it going on. I see people talking about, oh, well, we need a pastor that can feed, and our last pastor did this, our last pastor did that. I'm like, Anyway, I don't want to get too into it. But anyway, I look forward to the discussion. Give me some feedback. Let me know. And God bless.